Hello everyone, this is Scorpion, and welcome back to A Video a Day. We are currently on episode 4, so if you would, please bear with me. This may be a slightly longer chapter. Let me just turn up the volume real quick. There we go, much better. Yeah. Okay, this is about to get to one of the scarier parts, so I'm probably gonna put a TW base, a bit of a discretion out there, in case anyone's wondering, because it's about to get to some of the more scary parts. Please bear with me. Thank you, and I'm happy that you could read this with me, as you're reading this with me. Anyway, let's begin. Chapter 4. I've always felt an unsettling feeling every time I'd walk into those strange and dreaded hallways. The way I'm wording things makes me sound like a poet of sorts. But no matter what, we go into them for patrols. Not because we want to, because we have to. That's what I dislike about Mr. Shade. Lieutenant Guardsman Roscoe Anton, from his private audio logs. Okay, in case you're wondering, Roscoe Anton is one of the more important characters. He really is important, in the story. But he starts up as, one of the more neutral characters, so he's a bit more like a double-edged sword. He just wants to follow orders. Alright, let's begin. I just stood there, blank-faced, not knowing what to do. So I decided to do the only rational thing. Walk until my feet bled. Or until I found my room, I would do the latter. So from there, I walked. Slowly at first, my ears hyper-focused on the buzzing of the overhead lights, the buzzing that vibrated inside of my teeth. At the same time, I could hear whispers, seeming like they were coming from the walls themselves. And then I remembered why I was so terrified of these hallways. As a child, I was told stories of people who tampered with the electrical systems. These were guardsmen who didn't have any cares in the world. Elites would find them and take them as the lights would flicker, and they would never be seen again. That is, not as anything human. These creatures, monsters even, would be seen skulking the hallways and corridors as tall, scrawny yet bulky monsters with elongated fingers still in their guardsman uniforms with faces that were distorted, and even one of these crooked-looking things, named was Frederick allegedly, would have a nail or a sewing needle or something impaling his right eye, giving him a cataract, making it so it looked milky white and would always be spasmistic. He could still look perfectly fine, but still. I knew the science, but that story is what still scares me in the dark, but I never thought that any of these things would be real. That is, until the lights flickered. Then something clicked in my brain. It must be the crooked people. Then I broke out into a sprint, running with all the energy that I had in my systems. As far as my legs could carry me, I bombed all the way through the corridors, to my bedroom door, and slammed it behind me. Panting heavily, my heart feeling like it was going to explode, I walked to my bed, very slowly. Once I reached the foot of my bed, I just collapsed. Flipping on my back, I decided to let the adrenaline dissipate from my systems, let my heartbeat get to a rest, and then write on my blog about the events that just occurred. This is my usual go-to for strange, even anomalous encounters like these. I just write on my blog until the fear goes away. Weird, I know. But it's probably normal compared to what you might do as a pastime in the midst of fear, right? Think about it. Think about it. Let's continue. These 3 lines, by the way, are what I consider transitional symbols. I might consider putting the Urban Shade emblem in the middle of one of them. For just a little bit of a reference, It may take a while to do all of that, but it'll be worth it because it'll look cool. It will make a lot of sense. After writing on my blog for what seemed like forever, I closed my laptop and went onto my bed for the second time. For this time, I actually had the bravery to fall asleep. Then the most unreal nightmare began. In an area the Hadal Black site that was dilapidated, being the outskirts, I was walking through the rooms, then I opened the 5th door. That was when the lights flickered, but they wouldn't stop until they broke. Leaving me in complete and utter darkness, I had no choice but to keep walking, always being cautious about what could be my proximity. I opened the 6th door. Halfway through the room, I saw it. Coming out of the now opened 7th door, it made its way through the door frame and then regained its posture. As the emergency lights kicked in, I saw it for its full glory. A scrawny but bulky man with elongated fingers, a distorted face. But what's this? Wearing Sebastian's getup, having 3 arms and 3 eyes, all locked on me, accompanied by black stringy hair on a scarred head, all with a smile that looked like his skin was being pulled back by invisible hooks. Sebastian? It can't be him. There we go. So, I'm just gonna put this over here. There we go. Last live revision I'll make for a long time. I slowly... Let me try that again. I started slowly walking towards him, not breaking eye contact with him, and vice versa, making my way to the next room. And when I looked away, I could hear noises, like someone climbing into a ventilation shaft. Then I looked back to where he was standing, and he wasn't there. Perplexed at how that was possible, considering that he was so big, I continued walking. So, I proceeded to open the next door. When I did, I then heard him coming out of said vent and advanced towards me. I decided to suck it up and run. Before I could open the next doorstep, the footsteps got louder, so I had to look. And then I saw him turn my head to face him, the other 2 grabbing my shoulders to hold me in place. He raised his same 2 hands, curling them into fists, keeping his third hand on my head and threw his fist down on my shoulders, hitting them with such force that I could hear my clavicles snap like dry twigs. That's what I meant. That is very detailed, don't you think? So detailed that you might actually get a little bit scared. Yeah. Not to brag, not to pat myself on the back, but the attention to detail for this is actually pretty good. There we go. As I was writhing in pain, he saw it as his opportunity to pick me up and throw me onto the edge of a pit. I could see a flash of different colors as I fell into a concussion, and then actually fell into the pit. He took one last look at me from the top of the hole, then left me for dead. Looking into the bottom, I saw lights. Orange lights. But they were not from the sun. They were from a searchlight, a soul sort of nature. Falling faster, I could see its blinding light getting closer as I fell into the furnace of escaping maw. Then I woke up, sweat-soaked, feeling my shoulders vibrate, when I heard a familiar voice. The voice of confusion. A voice of worry. The voice of the saboteur himself. My best friend. That is chapter 4. Hopefully after this video you don't have to like sleep with the lights on, because trust me, it only gets worse from here. And by worse, there's like a little bit of some bittersweet moments in part 1. But other than that, they get quickly balanced out by some of the darker chapters. And by dark, I mean figuratively as well as literally. I tried to put the attention to detail into those chapters as best as I could when it came to that. Luckily, we'll be able to see the 5th chapter more like a bittersweet kind of chapter tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. See ya!